Hello and welcome, dear listeners. You're tuning in to another episode of Speak English with Mishu, the podcast where we learn English the smart, simple, and soulful way. Whether you're walking, cooking, or commuting, we're so happy to be part of your day.
That's right. I'm Liam, and I'm here with my lovely co-host Emily. Today's topic is something so many of you have asked for, and honestly, it's something we've all struggled with at some point.
Stop worrying. We're talking about confidence, especially when it comes to speaking English in real life.
Have you ever learned grammar rules, studied vocabulary, even practiced at home? But the moment someone says, "Hey, can you speak in English?" your mind goes blank?
Yup, heart racing, mouth dry, and suddenly you forget how to say even hello. If that's ever happened to you, don't worry, you're not alone. And this episode is for you.
In the next 60 minutes, we're going to break this down like a real conversation between two friends. No textbooks, no pressure, just practical tips, real talk, and maybe even a few laughs along the way.
Plus, by the end of today's episode, you'll not only understand why your confidence drops, but you'll also walk away with clear, simple strategies to finally speak up and be heard, even if you're shy, even if your grammar isn't perfect.
And remember, you're not here to be perfect. You're here to practice, to grow, and to become someone who's proud of your progress.
So take a deep breath, smile a little. You're in the right place, and we've got your back. Let's begin this journey into building English speaking confidence together.
Emily, let's be honest. Confidence is a big word, but it often gets crushed in the smallest moments.
Exactly. Like when someone suddenly switches the conversation to English and you panic. You know what to say in your mind, but your mouth refuses to cooperate.
Or you're in class or at work, and there's a group conversation happening. Everyone's talking, laughing, and you just sit there quietly, hoping no one asks you to speak.
That moment of silence feels louder than anything else, right? And afterward, you're thinking, I should have said something. I knew what to say. Why couldn't I just speak?
One listener told us, "I've been learning English for 2 years, but when my cousin from the UK visited, I felt like a beginner. I couldn't even ask him how his trip was going."
And another said she avoids speaking in meetings because she's afraid people will laugh at her accents or correct her grammar.
These are real feelings, and they're more common than you think.
That's why it's important to say this out loud. Struggling to speak confidently doesn't mean you're bad at English. It just means you're human. You care, and that's okay.
Confidence isn't about speaking perfectly. It's about speaking, even when your voice shakes.
So if you've ever rehearsed a sentence 10 times before saying it, pretended to understand someone just to avoid asking again, or stayed quiet because you didn't want to sound wrong, then guess what? You're not alone. And this episode is meant to help you out of that cycle, gently, one step at a time.
And trust us, we've been there too. I used to feel nervous just ordering food in English.
Me too. I once mispronounced focus in a classroom, and everyone laughed. I didn't speak again for a week, but now I laugh along and keep going.
These little stories show that your journey isn't broken. It's beautiful because you're still trying, and trying is winning.
Coming up next, we're going to explore the real reasons why this confidence issue happens. Because once we understand the why, we can finally start fixing it.
So now that we've talked about the real struggles, it's time to ask, why do we feel so nervous when we speak English, especially in front of others?
Great question. And guess what? It's not just about your English level. Many fluent speakers still feel shy or scared to speak. The problem often goes deeper.
One of the biggest reasons is something called language anxiety. It's that feeling of panic or fear when you're about to speak in a second language.
It comes from our brain wanting to protect us. When we speak our native language, everything flows naturally. But when we switch to English, we're suddenly thinking, will they understand me? What if I make a mistake? Will they laugh at my accent?
These thoughts activate fear, and fear shuts down our brain's ability to recall words quickly. So even if you know what to say, your brain freezes.
Exactly. Another reason is perfectionism. We want to speak like native speakers, with perfect grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. But in real life, nobody's perfect, not even native speakers.
Perfectionism can become a wall. It blocks you from learning through mistakes, which, by the way, is how every child learns to speak.
And let's not forget the fear of judgment. This is so common in schools, offices, or even at home when others expect us to show off our English. It feels like a test, not a conversation.
Exactly. And the result? We avoid speaking at all, which only makes the problem worse over time.
Here's something important. Confidence doesn't come first. Practice comes first, and confidence follows. You don't wait to feel confident before speaking. You speak, and confidence slowly builds.
Let me repeat that for anyone who needs to hear it today. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be brave, one sentence at a time.
Coming up next, we're going to share real strategies to help you speak with confidence, even if your voice shakes.
These tips are simple, practical, and you can try them today, right after listening.
Okay, so now let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for. How do we actually build confidence when speaking English?
Let's start with tip 1. Speak out loud every day, even if you're alone. This might sound simple, but it's powerful. Your mouth is a muscle. The more you use it to speak English, the easier it becomes.
You can start by reading a short paragraph from a book, article, or even a menu out loud. Or describe what you see around you, like, there is a blue chair. I am drinking tea.
And remember, nobody's listening. It's your private practice. You're building fluency, confidence, and muscle memory, all at once.
I love that. Now, tip 2, use a mirror. We call this mirror talk. Look at yourself while you speak English. This helps you focus on eye contact, facial expressions, and pronunciation.
It may feel awkward at first, but trust me, it helps remove fear. You're practicing being comfortable with your own voice in English.
Tip 3, record yourself. Open your phone's voice recorder, talk about your day in English, and listen back. Don't judge yourself, just observe.
This will help you notice small pronunciation errors or filler words, and also show you how much you're improving over time.
Exactly. The first time I recorded myself, I cringed. But by the 5th time, I was smiling and saying, hey, that's not bad.
It's all about progress, not perfection. And now, one more powerful tip before we move to the next part.
Tip 4, practice with a script or dialogue. Use a script from a show, podcast, or even this one, and repeat the lines with emotion.
This helps with pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation, and gives you ready-to-use phrases for real conversations.
If you don't have someone to practice with, don't worry. Just take both roles yourself. Be Emily and Liam for 5 minutes a day.
That's fun and effective. Coming up next, even more strategies, including how to overcome fear in public settings and small daily habits that make a big difference.
All right, now let's talk about a situation that makes almost every English learner nervous. Speaking in front of other people. In a classroom, in meetings, or even at a cafe, it can feel scary.
But guess what? It doesn't have to be. Let's start with tip number 5. Start small in real life. You don't have to give a speech on day 1. Try things like ordering food in English, asking for directions, or starting a short conversation with a classmate or colleague.
These tiny wins give you real-life experience. Even a 10-second English exchange builds your confidence muscle.
And remember, people are often kinder than you think. They're not judging your grammar, they're impressed that you're trying.
Tip number 6, prepare and repeat phrases. Memorize useful phrases you can use often, like, can you please repeat that? I'm still learning English, but I'll try. What do you mean by that?
These are your safety net phrases. They reduce panic and help you stay in the conversation even when you're unsure.
I always say, if you can master 10 helpful sentences, you can survive almost any conversation.
Here's another big one. Tip number 7. Don't apologize for your English. Instead of saying, "Sorry for my bad English," try, "I'm working on my English, but I'm happy to speak with you."
Yes, that shows pride and progress. You're not a beginner, you're a learner, and learners are brave.
Also, don't forget body language matters. Even if your words aren't perfect, a smile, eye contact, and open posture can create connection.
I love that. And here's a bonus strategy. Tip number 8, visualize before you speak. Before a meeting or conversation, close your eyes for 30 seconds. Imagine yourself speaking clearly, calmly, and confidently.
It might sound silly, but athletes do this before big games, and it works for speakers too. Your brain believes what it sees.
So to recap, start small, use ready phrases, own your journey, and use body language and mindset tools. All of this adds up to powerful, practical confidence.
Coming up in part 6, we're going to share real-world role-play examples using the strategies we just talked about. You'll hear how these tips sound in actual conversations.
Welcome to our favorite part, real-life English conversations. Let's show you how to apply the tips from part 5.
Yeah, these short role plays will help you see and hear the strategies in action. Let's start with a very common situation.
Role play 1, ordering at a cafe. Hi, I'd like a cup of black coffee, please. And could I also get a blueberry muffin?
Sure, would you like it heated?
Yes, please. That sounds great.
Simple, right? Emily spoke clearly, used polite phrases, and sounded confident, even in a short exchange.
Role play 2, asking for clarification.
Hey, so after the team sync, we'll head to the breakout room.
Sorry, could you please repeat that? What's a breakout room?
Oh, it's a smaller room where we have group discussions.
Thanks for explaining. I'm still learning, but I want to understand everything.
That's such a strong move. You didn't panic, you asked for help with confidence. And that actually builds respect, not embarrassment.
Role play 3, introducing yourself at a meetup. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm learning English and I love podcasts. How about you?
Nice to meet you, Emily. I'm Liam. I enjoy hiking and reading.
That's cool. I've never gone hiking before. Where do you usually go?
This kind of conversation may seem simple, but it's gold. You're connecting, asking questions, being open. And that's what real communication is all about, not perfect grammar.
Here's your challenge. Pick one of these role plays and practice it aloud in front of a mirror. Even better, record yourself and play it back.
Coming up in part 7, we'll dive into how to build daily English habits, so you're not just learning, you're growing every single day. So far, we've talked about confidence, real-life examples, and social situations. But how do you make English speaking a daily habit?
Stop. That's the secret to real improvement. Not one big moment, but small, daily steps. Let's start with tip number 9. Create a tiny daily practice. Even 5 to 10 minutes each day is powerful if you're consistent.
And don't think it has to be boring. Here are some great daily ideas. Record yourself speaking for 1 minute. Describe your morning routine out loud. Talk to yourself while cooking or walking.
Exactly. Here's tip 10. Use English in your real life. Label objects in your home with sticky notes in English. Say your to-do list aloud in English. Even think in English when you're alone.
You're training your brain to switch to English naturally. And the more normal it feels, the less nervous you'll be.
Here's a fun one. Tip 11. Watch and repeat. Watch a short English video clip or podcast segment, then pause and repeat what they say. It's called shadowing, great for pronunciation and flow.
You're not just learning what to say, you're learning how to say it with rhythm and natural tone.
Don't forget this golden rule. Celebrate your progress. Every time you speak, record, or learn a new word, say, I'm doing it. I'm improving.
Let's be honest, confidence comes from showing up, daily, even when it's messy, even when you don't feel ready.
And if you ever miss a day, no guilt, just restart. The goal is progress, not perfection.
So here's your action step. Start a simple English routine this week and stick to it for 7 days, even if it's just 5 minutes a day.
In Part 8, we're going to switch gears and talk about overcoming fear of judgment, that voice in your head that says, I'm not good enough. Let's quiet that voice together. Let's talk about that feeling we all know too well. The moment you want to speak in English, but your heart races, your hands sweat, and your mind says, what if I make a mistake?
Or worse, what if they laugh at me? Sound familiar? If yes, you're not alone. In fact, fear of judgment is the #1 reason people stay silent.
But here's the truth. People are not thinking about your mistakes as much as you think. They're thinking about their own.
And get this, when you speak, even with broken grammar, most people admire your courage. You're using your second language. That's a superpower.
Our brains are wired to protect us from embarrassment. That's why we avoid risks, even small ones like speaking English. But the only way to shrink fear is to face it, gently, step by step.
Exactly. That's why we call this tip Tip 12. Speak before you feel ready. Because waiting for perfect will leave you stuck forever.
Tip 13. Focus on connection, not perfection. Shift your goal. Don't try to impress people with perfect English. Just try to connect. Be human. Be real.
Tip 14. Laugh at your mistakes. Turn them into funny stories. When you laugh, fear disappears.
Here's one from my student. She once said, I chickened the rice instead of I cooked the rice. We laughed so hard, and now she remembers the correct word forever.
Tip 15. Talk to safe people first. Practice English with friends, classmates, or even with us. Choose people who support your journey, not judge it.
Every mistake is proof you're learning. No baby learns to walk without falling, so why should language be any different?
If you want to grow, you must allow yourself to be a beginner. That's where all champions start.
So here's your new belief. Coming up, every time I speak English, even badly, I win.
Coming up next in Part 9, we'll dive into how to stay motivated, even when progress feels slow or you're tempted to give up.
Don't miss it. Your mindset is your greatest tool.
Let's be real. Learning English takes time. Some days you feel confident. Other days you feel stuck. So, how do you keep going?
That's such a good question, Liam. And the answer is simple but powerful. You need a why. Why are you learning English? For your job, your dreams, your future family?
That's tip number 16. Know your why. Write it down. Keep it where you can see it, on your mirror, your notebook, or even your phone screen.
Here's a quick challenge. Pause this podcast right now and write your English why. I want to speak English because. Then come back. We'll wait.
Welcome back. Now that your why is strong, let's go to tip number 17. Track tiny wins. You don't need big achievements. Just celebrate small ones. Pin. Today I said 3 sentences in English. Pin. I learned 2 new words. Pin. I watched a video without subtitles.
Your brain loves progress, even if it's tiny, and tiny wins keep motivation alive.
Keep your energy high. Tip number 18. Change it up. If you're bored, switch your method. Try English songs, funny YouTube videos, speaking with a friend, joining an online English group.
Learning should feel fun. If it feels like a burden, change the way, not the goal.
Tip number 19. Visualize your future self. Picture yourself confidently giving a presentation in English, or traveling and speaking freely, or getting that job or scholarship.
That image in your mind, make it so real you can feel it. That's your future, and you're walking toward it every day.
Quick reframe for low days. And finally, Tip number 20. Remember, struggle means growth. If today is hard, it means your brain is building something new. Don't quit now, you're leveling up.
So, if you feel frustrated today, take a deep breath and say, "This is part of the process. I'm not failing, I'm learning."
Coming up in part 10, we'll explore something exciting: how to practice English in real conversations, even if you live in a non-English speaking country.
You don't want to miss that one because it's the bridge between learning English and living it. Here's a common question from our listeners. How can I practice speaking English if no one around me speaks it?
That's a real challenge, but also a great opportunity. Today, we'll show you how to create an English-speaking world around you, even from your bedroom.
Tip number 21, change your environment. Let's start with your surroundings. Change your phone, apps, and browser to English. Label things around your house: mirror, fridge, table. Let English become part of your daily life.
You don't need to go to London or New York, just bring English to you.
Tip number 22, talk to yourself. This one might sound funny, but it works. Practice English by talking to yourself in the mirror. Describe your day. Make pretend conversations. Narrate your thoughts.
Try this. I'm brushing my teeth now. After that, I'll go to work. It's a little cold today. It may feel weird at first, but it's powerful for fluency.
Tip number 23, find speaking partners. You don't need native speakers to practice. Join English-speaking Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, or online communities like Hello Talk, Speaky, or Tandem.
There are thousands of learners out there, just like you, looking for practice partners. Be brave and say hello.
And here's a trick. If you're shy, start with voice messages instead of live calls. It gives you time to think and build confidence. Tip number 24, imitate real speech.
Watch English podcasts, movies, or vlogs and repeat after them. Mimic the tone, rhythm, and emotion. This is called shadowing.
Want an example? Play one sentence from this podcast, pause, then say it out loud. Same speed, same feeling. It trains your brain and tongue like magic. Light bonus tip: be curious in English.
Search things in English, even small things like how to make tea, why do cats purr, or tips to sleep better.
The more you use English for real interests, the more natural it becomes. You're not just studying English, you're living it. Star final words on practicing English without borders.
Remember, you don't need to move to another country to become fluent. Your mindset and habits are more powerful than geography.
Coming up next in part 11, we'll dive into the most useful vocabulary and phrases that you should master, especially if you want to sound more natural and confident. Congratulations! You've made it to the final part of today's episode. Now, let's make sure all this amazing learning becomes part of your everyday life.
That's right. A great daily routine is the secret to long-term success, and we'll keep it simple, fun, and realistic.
Tip number 28, set small, achievable goals. Don't aim for 3 hours a day right away. Start with 5 to 10 minutes of focused English daily. Consistency beats intensity every time.
Try setting a reminder on your phone or calendar, and treat this time like an important appointment with yourself.
Headphones, tip number 29, mix listening, speaking, and reading. Each day, try to listen to a short podcast or video like this one. Speak out loud, even if just to yourself. Read something simple, a news article, a book, or social media posts in English.
Variety keeps your brain active and makes learning exciting.
Micro, tip number 30, use technology to your advantage. Apps like Hello Talk, Duolingo, or even voice recorders can make practicing fun and easy.
And don't forget, using our free resources at Speak English with Mishu will support you on your journey. Check the episode notes for links.
Star, final. Remember, every word you learn, every sentence you say brings you closer to your goal.
Keep going, be patient with yourself, and celebrate your progress.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Speak English with Mishu so you never miss new lessons.
Like, share, and leave a comment. We want to hear about your English learning journey and questions.
And don't forget to download our free PDF guide linked in the episode notes. It has all the tips and phrases we talked about today.
Thank you for spending this hour with us. We'll see you soon in the next episode. Until then, keep speaking, keep growing.
Bye for now. Stay motivated and confident. You've got this. Congratulations! You've made it to the final part of today's episode. Now, let's make sure all this amazing learning becomes part of your everyday life.
That's right. A great daily routine is the secret to long-term success, and we'll keep it simple, fun, and realistic.
Tip number 28. Set small, achievable goals. Don't aim for 3 hours a day right away. Start with 5 to 10 minutes of focused English daily. Consistency beats intensity every time.
Try setting a reminder on your phone or calendar, and treat this time like an important appointment with yourself.
Headphones. Tip number 29. Mix listening, speaking, and reading. Each day, try to listen to a short podcast or video like this one. Speak out loud, even if just to yourself. Read something simple, a news article, a book, or social media posts in English.
Variety keeps your brain active and makes learning exciting.
Micro. Tip number 30. Use technology to your advantage. Apps like HelloTalk, Duolingo, or even voice recorders can make practicing fun and easy.
And don't forget, using our free resources at Speak English with Mishu will support you on your journey. Check the episode notes for links.
Final. Remember, every word you learn, every sentence you say brings you closer to your goal.
Keep going, be patient with yourself, and celebrate your progress.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Speak English with Mishu so you never miss new lessons.
Like, share, and leave a comment. We want to hear about your English learning journey and questions.
And don't forget to download our free PDF guide linked in the episode notes. It has all the tips and phrases we talked about today.
Thank you for spending this hour with us. We'll see you soon in the next episode. Until then, keep speaking, keep growing.
Bye for now. Stay motivated and confident. You've got this.